Which one of us is the weird one?
Welcome to the Mind Money Spectrum podcast, where your hosts, Aaron Ogti and Trishul Patel, go beyond traditional finance questions to help you explore how to use your money to achieve the freedom you want in life.
Hi, my name is Aaron Ogti. I'm a financial advisor in the Bay Area. I'm here with Trishul Patel, a wealth manager on the East Coast.
Hey, Aaron, great, great to be here today. And thanks everybody for listening and watching.
Okay, this is going to be a weird episode. I think it's kind of related to some things we sometimes talk with clients, but it can get totally off the rails really quickly. So that's like my warning. For those who have listened to us talk, you may have heard me mention a few times that in general, I like sports. I have taught Trishul how to play fantasy football. I have taught him about March Madness. And I've talked about how one of the big reasons I started my business is to have time to coach my kids' sports teams. I wanted to have the flexibility, and that was a priority for me in my life. And we've talked about like the choices you make and that kind of those intentional decision making is designing work around the life that you truly want. And for me, again, coaching my kids in sports is really important to me. And we were talking last time, I forget how we got into this conversation, but some of the things that make me really, really happy are when I'm coaching a player who, again, this is just little league recreation, like soccer, flag football, baseball, softball. But some of them they're just parents sign them up. They just go out there and have fun. And I get them to a point where they do something for the first time. I remember coaching flag football for my daughter in middle school, and one of the girls signed up for the team. She had never played flag football before. It's possible she never played organized sports before, and she just couldn't catch the ball. And through enough practice, and it took probably a couple months, eventually she was starting able to catch passes in practice. And I was really, really excited. I've had similar feelings of teaching kids how to hit a baseball, and they will go hitless and strike out for like a month or two. And they finally get that first hit. And the feeling is just so high. I am genuinely so excited for that kid to like, we've talked like same process we've talked about before. I can like feel my goosebumps. Like I'm already like getting my adrenaline up. But it's the process of results kind of thing. Like you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, you fail, you keep trying, you fail, keep trying, you fail. That overcoming failure and that grit is such a huge part of what makes a good adult. And to see the like seeds of that playing out in childhood and to get the actual positive success after so many failures is just my feelings get so high and I absolutely love it. I genuinely love it. And I'm sure it's not gonna be a surprise. This translates to me watching pro sports teams. Like I cheer for the Padres. I grew up in San Diego. I cheer for the Chargers. I went to UCLA, so I cheer for UCLA football, basketball. Women's basketball just won the national championship. Beach volleyball, women's beach volleyball also won. I cheer for UCLA softball a lot, UCLA baseball, and I get those similar feelings of I'm genuinely happy when the things go well.
Right.
And I've had to talk to both my kids and the kids that I coach. You only get those really, really good feelings because it's hard and it can go the other way. That you're trying hard and like it doesn't go your way. The bad thing happens. And that creates a lot of negative feelings. And part of this is another reason why I like teaching kids sports is they learn to handle those feelings by the time they get to an adulthood. That they get to experience the highs and the lows, and they also learn that the world's not over, that it's just part of life. And I think there's a lot of really good life lessons that kids learn from, again, process of results, uh, grit, that kind of like overcoming failure, overcoming disappointment, and like dealing with those high and low emotions.
Hmm.
And I was describing this to Trishul, and I was trying to ask him, do you ever have that feeling in your life where you're just like so excited, so over the moon, this like unknown thing, like you don't know what's going to happen, it's going to pay off. And again, it's something that gives me goosebumps. Like in the moment, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm willing to go through those negatives because those highs feel so good.
Right.
Okay, so I think that's a good context. Like you get the feeling of what I'm like when it comes to sports.
Hmm.
Trishul, again, the question I'm going to ask you directly: do
Hmm.
you ever have anything in your life that has like those kind of highs and lows like that, those extremes in terms of your feelings?
Yeah. Well, certainly not for sports.
That's okay. That's okay.
I should probably leave with that because I don't want to keep people in too much suspense for too long.
Okay.
Like, so, but maybe, and then, maybe it doesn't translate too much in other parts of my life either, that type of feeling, I might say. When you're describing that sports analogy, the fact that it's something you got to work towards, it's not guaranteed,
Mhm.
it's like a low probability event, but if you put in the effort and you do the work, you get a great outcome, you feel great. Um, that all makes sense to me intuitively,
Mhm.
but I don't think I would do all that for that payoff. And you know what kind of went through my mind? It's kind of similar to the rush like people get with like gambling.
Mhm.
Like you pay a little bit, you anticipate, you're watching the race, you're gambling on sports even, right?
Yep.
You're really invested in the outcome and you feel super great if they win and not so great if you lose, right? Um, but like for me, I take lots of calculated risk. I'm very comfortable with
Okay.
it, but I wouldn't call myself a gambler by any means.
Okay.
Like if I go to Vegas, I'm spending $1. Like literally, I might play one slot and call it a day. And essentially, for a good part of my career, I was a bookie, and my job was to manage an options book.
Mhm.
And I made this analogy in the past. When you're managing an option book, you're basically selling a bunch of options all over the place,
Mhm.
and people are paying little bits of money all over the place, and you're hoping that those payouts don't kill you, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially the goal. You can call it gambling being the bookie, but for me, it was just numbers and risk,
Okay.
right? It's math, and I was the house, right?
Mhm.
The house kind of always wins. So for me, it didn't feel like gambling at all. In fact, it felt like more of, just a academic challenge, if anything.
Mhm.
And I had uh, no desire to be on the other side of that fence. Um,
Okay.
So, I've sold tons and tons of options. I've never bought them just because I don't have an interest. So I'm thinking in my mind, maybe it ties back to that. Like I don't like low probability, high um happiness events don't kind
So
of appeal to me.
I do want to make one thing clear.
Mhm.
And again, like a precursor caveat, I do also enjoy gambling as a form of entertainment. I do not do
Mhm.
it regularly.
Mhm.
Um, Gambling, it creates that feeling, but it's actually it's an artificial creation of the same feeling.
Mhm.
And because it's artificial, and I'll explain this, what I mean in a second, that's what can lead to a gambling addiction. It's actually closer to drugs in that regard,
Hmm. Hmm.
that you can get that high without doing any of the work.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's, I think, one of the big difference in especially playing sports is the the good benefit comes through again, that process over results,
Hmm.
and it comes through that grit and the what you do in practice paying off in a game, and it's a little more earned.
Yeah. Maybe
Whereas,
here's another closer one, like video games, right?
yeah, actually, I'd say that's probably closer to the sports one,
Yeah.
because you start off at a training level where you can't beat the game, but you need to improve your skills.
Right. Yeah. So maybe even that is also apropos because I was never really a big video game player um in my whole life. I've
Okay.
done it now and then. Um I think the handful I even mentioned with you, like Breath of the Wild was like
Yeah.
the one game you and I both happened to have played, but that's like the only one in like the last 10
Yeah.
years that I've played. But it's the similar, like you said, the similar framework of you work really hard at something and you struggle and then you get this great reward if you beat it, right? And Olympic athletes also feel this way too, right? When they really struggle for that gold medal. And the reason I mentioned that is I remember also hearing though, like sometimes after the Olympics, even the winners, they feel a bit low.
Mm. Mm.
Um, like like you've done the thing,
Yeah.
but there's some air that's left, or
You've reached the mountaintop.
yeah,
Now what? Kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the Olympics, well, that's Everest. So
Yeah.
I guess you can Everest again.
That we might we might get back to the Olympics. So I think that is closer to a lot of the conversations we've had of like when you have a goal, like whatever, and even when you achieve it,
Mhm.
achieving the goal doesn't necessarily make you happy.
Yeah,
It's the personal growth part, the you getting better. And again, with sports, especially like Olympic sports, you can see
yeah,
actual tangible results. It's very easy to identify those small iterative steps of getting better.
right,
And that's what tends to drive a lot of the happiness and comes in well-being, is that personal growth and being able to look back like I am better than I was in the past and be proud of that. And like once you get that gold medal, it's like, how do I grow from here?
right. Yeah, so I think the distinction, or when we first mentioned this, like offline, I think my feedback for me was maybe it's because I'm not really competitive.
Hmm.
So, like with games, I know they're not real. I know they're not real. Like I know, it, it. I guess maybe what it comes down to in my mind is, um, how will this make my life better?
Okay.
And
That's
for games, I'm like, okay, yeah, this will provide entertainment, and that's all I gotta go for.
okay. That's interesting because I definitely, one of the things that my wife and I attracted to each other is like we're both really competitive. We
Yeah. So
really want to beat each other at whatever board game it is we play.
right.
But it's there's a I'd say we're pretty healthy about our competition,
Yeah.
where we both really want to beat each other, all the strategy, all the luck, everything that goes into it, and as soon as it's done, we're still happy with each other. We're not angry at
Yeah.
each other because we lost.
Yeah.
And same thing
But
with
it's healthy.
yes, any sporting event I play or coach,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try as hard as I can to win, and
Right.
then win or lose, I appreciate my opponent, I shake their hand, I say, "Hey, good game."
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a really important lesson there of you still want to strive to do your best,
Yeah.
but acknowledging that the competition itself is part of the joy. Like that's
Yeah.
what creates the adrenaline and the feelings.
Well, I think we're hitting on this distinction because, yeah, I guess I don't care about winning.
Okay, so I okay, it still goes kind of like back to that the question I asked you is like, do you is there anything that creates those like emotional highs?
Yeah, yeah.
Something you're gonna like scream out in joy for?
Well, maybe these are correlated and time tied together, right? In some way, the fact that maybe not as much as you, it seems like.
So again, this is what I think is what we're trying to get to is
Yeah,
which one of us is the weird one? Because I totally acknowledge like
yeah,
I might be too far. I know a lot of sports fans,
yeah,
and I know a lot of other little league coaches and like other sports coaches.
yeah,
And a friend made a comment the other day, like, it's possible I enjoy the process of coaching more than all of my friends who also love sports and have kids and coach their teams.
yeah,
They like it,
yeah,
but maybe not as much as me. So again, totally acknowledge I could be the weird one.
yeah. Well,
Also,
okay.
just like when I asked, like, you never feel like that, like ever?
Yeah, so the offline comment that I also brought up, Aaron, I think this is already public, but you were a valedictorian,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And that competitive instinct, I'm sure, showed up in that academic field too.
I forget if I told you this on the podcast or offline. It took me again like 20 years of introspection,
Yeah.
of looking back at how I was at that age in my developmental stage. It's like
Mhm.
one of the things I realized I didn't just want straight A's.
Yeah,
I wanted the highest grade in every single class.
right. Yeah,
And that happens to lead to straight A's and being valedictorian. Like I knew I was good enough. I wanted the highest grade in every single class.
right. Yeah, so you get more weird points on this
Yeah.
particular concern. So, but I think it's correlated, like I said, with the notion that I think you get more gratification from that really high feeling from achieving that.
You're saying me or people in general?
Well, people like you who aspire to be that competitive and enjoy the fruits of those outcomes.
Okay. So I guess
Meaning we may be onto something here because I don't know if I would feel as great if with those same outcomes, which is maybe why I don't pursue those same outcomes in the same amount of earnesty.
okay. I think there's a couple things I'm thinking. Like, okay, one, I know a lot of people like sports, and I know a lot of people don't care about sports. They just
Hmm.
don't get that feeling ever.
Hmm.
Um, I have talked to people. It's like they don't see the point. The people like running around like it's entertainment. Like it's an arbitrary thing. How are you getting emotionally involved to cheering for laundry? Because you don't even care who the players are. You're just cheering
Yep.
for the shirts to win.
Well, okay, so I've watched sports and I get it.
Okay.
I get it. Like if I'm seeing a game and it's close, and I usually root for the underdog because
Mhm.
I don't know, it just makes it more interesting that way. So I get the tension and I get the academic excellence, or sorry, the athletic excellence that goes into competing at that high level. Uh, but again, I think this maybe comes down to the fact that just my nature, my personality is to not really be that competitive.
Okay. So I think competitive is going to come back because the
Yep.
other example I had is uh people who make movies
Yeah.
that are artistic
Yeah.
by nature, like that
Right.
they might do it as a job. They want to make some money,
Mhm.
um, but they're rarely like I'm trying to make a movie to be the highest grossing movie ever. Like
Yeah.
that
Right.
tends not to be the goal. But if they win an Oscar, they're still genuinely excited. That may not be that was likely not the intent when they
Mhm.
started the process of making the movie. And everyone
Yeah.
involved, like there's a creative process they enjoy, but there's
Right.
still that high feeling.
Okay, it
But again,
seems
it
like
comes
there's
back
a
to the
spectrum
competition.
here, right? Yeah, it seems like there's a spectrum here because you can imagine there are some people who really do it for the Oscar. I'm not saying it's the
Okay,
majority,
that's
but
okay.
that could be their primary motivation. The fame that goes with it, and
Yeah.
um the label of excellence that you get with it and whatnot.
I said there's
And
also some who are trying to just make as much money as they can. Like, they
yeah,
actually wanna make as much money as they can.
yeah, these could be motives, and then yeah, there can be some that just do it purely for the art, and they may not even show up at the Oscars if they win, right? And then obviously anywhere in between on all
Yeah.
this. And then I guess what we're trying to correlate to is maybe which one leads to those very highs that
Um,
we're going for, or
I guess I am trying to understand. Like, I get that other people don't like sports the way I do. I
yeah,
get that other people, they just don't even care about sports, period. Like,
yeah,
they don't see the benefit. They will teach their kids a musical instrument and like, they'll teach the practice skills. Like,
yeah,
there's all the life skills they get through other forms.
right,
Again, the process of results, the grit aspect, the overcoming failure. Like, there's other ways to do that and still have the really good life skills as an adult.
hmm,
And I'm genuinely curious, do they ever get those kind of highs?
yeah, like maybe not. I haven't thought about this as deeply, but maybe not is what I'm thinking. Because okay, so you take like Michael Jordan for example, right?
Mhm.
He is very, very competitive. You know,
Yes, he has a reputation for being competitive to an unhealthy degree, along
sure,
with, like,
yeah,
Tiger Woods,
right,
similarly.
right. And they really hated to lose. Like
Yeah,
like it would it would be anguish
yeah.
to lose. But it's an incredible motivating factor in their success. Meaning, back to our movie analogy, there's some people who maybe do it just for the love of the game, and
Mhm.
some people, oh, geez, that's there, but no, they have to win too.
There's definitely, that's a good point. That there is definitely some win at all costs. There,
Yeah,
there,
like
there. Even at the youth sports level,
yeah,
there's some coaches that are win at all cost,
yeah.
and
So
that gets to an unhealthy spot.
right, and I'm not saying Michael did it unhealthily per se, but at the level he was competing at, he wanted to be the best in the world, and he was, meaning he had to pull out all the stops across every dimension to
Yeah,
kind of get to that level, and he did, and he deserves all the praise that goes with that. However, I don't know if somebody could be a Michael Jordan and not be that competitive as he was, and only care about the
I,
passion.
um, I'm
Eh,
gonna
eh,
say yes, it's possible. Uh, 30 years ago, maybe not. Especially like when Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods were getting to their peaks.
mhm,
Scotty Scheffler, the current number one golfer in the world, has actually talked about that at press conferences where, yes, he wants to win, but he goes home, spends time with his family, and the next day he's back to practice. But and it's seen like a much healthier version of the same thing that Olympic athletes go through of
mhm,
he likes the practice part.
mhm,
He likes that self-improvement part, and that's what drives him. And it works well enough. He's now the number one golfer in the world,
yep.
but he is not a win at all costs. And if he doesn't win, doesn't hate it the same way that Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods would have.
Yeah, so, like, in my mind, it was a big contributor to who they were and their
Oh
ultimate
yes,
success.
I agree.
And I feel like to excel at that level, there's some sacrifices that you kind of have to make.
I agree with that as well.
And the kind of purpose of these sports is innately competition, right? Whereas the purpose of creating a great movie isn't competition,
Um,
right?
yes, I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Like with art, it can really just be about the art
yeah,
and making it great for just that reason.
yeah,
Whereas with sports, the goal is to compete, right? With
yes,
games, the goal is kind of to win the game, like to
yeah,
um well, actually no, I'm going to take that back on the games because games you can play for fun and not not really about winning. Like for example, even with Breath of the Wild, yeah, you could play it for fun and never really beat the game in air quotes, but still enjoy some aspect of it that isn't about winning. Or you can try to unlock every little thing in every
mhm.
corner and turn every little stone and defeat it and do it in the shortest amount of time, right?
Okay, this is actually really good transition. Like one of the things about Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
is that it is possibly just as much puzzles
Mhm.
as it is fighting.
Yeah.
Like I think the puzzles are part of what make that game great.
Mhm.
And I'm curious for you, like, do you like doing crossword puzzles? Do you like doing jigsaw puzzles? Like any other like solving something and figuring out like I did it. Yes. Like again, like it's a little lower, but like I've completed the crossword. Do you have anything like
No.
that where like you're pushing yourself for getting some arbitrary way of just passing the time that has a result?
Okay, so just very realistically, I do play chess. That's probably about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I may have mentioned this before in other episodes. I have two modes in my chess. One is I don't care if I win, and the other is I slightly care if I win.
Okay.
So
I also play chess with my friends, and my first like I had to constantly remind myself, my first goal is to not get timed out.
okay,
Because there have been times in the past where I'm like playing around looking for the right move because
yeah.
I use the chess.com app, like playing around, and it goes a week and I forgot to make a move and like I lost because I got timed out.
Oh, what's your flavor of chess on chess.com that you play?
Just my two friends.
No, I meant like oh, you don't even play with random
No,
online people.
nope.
Okay, meaning you do play where you have like a day per move or
Oh, I
something.
have 7 days per move.
Okay.
Because again, like one we have kids and our lives are busy.
Yeah.
Uh, and two, like sometimes I can't get around to it. But yeah, it's I if I get like less than 2 days, like I better make a move soon.
Yeah.
Like I have lost because I've been timed out because I'm trying to find that right move and I'm not good enough to find that right move.
Okay.
So I don't mind losing.
Yeah.
Losing does not bother me.
Yeah.
Making mistakes does not bother me.
Yeah.
Um, because I also know it's a friendly game,
Mhm.
and my friends don't enjoy winning when I time out. Like what's the point of playing chess if you're just not going to make a move in a week?
Yeah, that's like defeating yourself, but
So I'm
eh,
I'm trying to do it almost more of a respect for my friends than like the loss myself. But I know my bad habit is to spend too much time thinking about one move.
okay. Yeah, so I exclusively play something known as rapid chess, where the entire game there's many flavors of it, and you can tune the knobs however you want. But basically, for me, each player has 10 full minutes for the entire game.
Okay.
So basically, you can finish a game in less than 20 minutes,
Yeah.
right? And it's always strangers, so I don't really know the people.
Hmm.
And again, half of the time, I'm just playing to like zone out,
Yeah.
quickly moving pieces around. And the other half, I'm like, let me work on some strategy a bit. What have I learned, and how can I
Okay.
apply it and pay attention? And usually I just keep playing till I lose, because with chess, roughly you're gonna win or lose about half the time. That's how they pair you up, right?
Mhm.
With people who are about your same. So that means I'll only play like 2 or 3 games and I lose. I'm like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. So my highs and lows when it comes to sporting or competition types of things are isolated in what I just told you.
Uh, so when it comes, like, okay, do you ever review your games to see what you could have done better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's a self-improvement aspect
Yeah,
there.
it
You want to
looks,
learn how to get better.
some of the games are really neat, right? I get the notion that you can be like 20, 30 moves deep in a really interesting, convoluted set
Mhm.
configuration. And, you feel that full tension that you might see in any or the other sort of type of competition, right? Where you're
Okay.
entangled that deeply and the stakes are so high. But for
Tell me, go
me,
on. How does that play out?
well, yeah, from the way you described your your variability, for me, it's probably like this.
Okay.
Even though, I feel a bit of the adrenaline, my heart might be pounding a bit and whatnot. Um, sure, but I,
Okay.
I get the feeling it's not as intense as you, is what I'm trying to say, as
For
what you
me,
may think.
chess is also pretty like low stakes.
Yeah,
I'd say
well,
low emotional stakes, I
I
guess I could say.
mean, this is the one thing where I do have that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
think for you, the one thing that you do have that at the highest degree, I think your variability is much higher. I would
Okay.
uh,
So
assume, surmise.
going back to kind of our title for this episode,
Yeah.
I think that, again, I love sports and I love teaching my kids. I think there's so many good life lessons in there,
Hmm.
but you don't need sports to teach those same life lessons.
Hmm.
And so I'm curious, like if you had to guess which percentage of the population, which is the majority, those who feel those highs through something like sports, or I guess it could be almost any kind of competition. I'm trying to think, like,
Yeah.
is there other ways to generate those highs that aren't artificial?
Yeah.
Like the drugs, the gambling, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Um, or is most of the population more like you, where they don't feel that range of emotions?
Yeah. I think you're probably higher than the average top end of people who feel that, I would
Yeah.
say. And I would say I'm probably lower than the lower end of the people that don't feel that. So I'd say, yeah, most people are probably in between us somewhere.
So there's like we're both the weird ones.
When it comes to this particular principle, yeah, I might say so. Yeah.
So yeah, I am more from a curiosity perspective. I'm just trying to come up with something else that can create those emotional highs, that excitement feeling, like a surprise birthday party, a uh I'm trying to think like the component. I'm trying to like drill down. Maybe it is that unexpected positive result kind of feeling. Um,
You know, we had this conversation about, like, I remember we talked about this earlier, way back. I don't even know, but it was something like, what if the meaning of well-being, or the meaning of life is to maximize your well-being over your entire life, right?
mhm,
If you might put a formula to it, meaning it's the integral of the area of well-being from the
yeah,
time you're born to the time you die, that whole space right under that
yep,
curve. And if your goal is to maximize that whole space, having those spikes doesn't necessarily help, because it only adds a little bit of area for a little bit of time, right? It goes up
mhm,
and then
yeah,
inevitably you can't stay up that high. But those spikes can be helpful to add incremental happy well-being
mhm,
to your kind of baseline, maybe, kind of, sort of. And you know with this rough framework in mind, I've been kind of engineering my life to maximize that integral, right? To
okay,
try to get my average well-being as high as possible. And I think the way I've kind of described it is I think I have a pretty boring
I was gonna
life.
say like that was the exact word I could like. It's like, man, you were going about this the most boring way possible.
Right.
You have the
But most days I'm just kind of okay. I'm happy. I'm hitting
that's
eights and nines almost every day, and I'm like, okay, this is good. And if I could do something else that could meaningfully increase that area, I would be doing it, right? Why wouldn't I be doing it? I
that's
think that the key things I've kind of already put into place: the sleeping well, eating well, financial stability, all of those things are kind of there, right?
I okay. I think there's something there, but like especially with the word boring because
Yeah.
I don't like being bored. I guess I don't mind it
Yeah.
sometimes, but I tend to seek out even small productive activities at most times.
Mhm.
Um, Recently it's been physical therapy, folding laundry, pulling weeds, uh, when I'm not coaching sports,
Mhm.
that kind of thing, and it's separate from work. Um, and I wonder how many people prefer the simplicity of boring.
Well, okay, so here's how I've approached that from my perspective. I also realize that if you make things too static, then it's just not tenable. Right? It's just too boring, too simple.
I think that was one of the things we talked about last time. Like I was curious, like where does the variety come from? Where's the
Yeah, so
excitement?
so I've mentioned this, I think, in that same conversation, but the reason it seems boring is because I want freedom, right?
Hmm.
And with discipline comes freedom,
Yeah,
meaning if we kind of break it down, about 2/3 of my day are accounted for within this framework. But what that means, though, is I have 1/3 to do whatever, right? So if we're thinking about that whole integral under the curve, my baseline keeps me at an 8, right?
yeah.
Just doing whatever I do for the 2/3 of the day. And the 1/3 is that variability that can, bring me to the tens and give me some, fluctuations there.
So I'm trying to think, what are your tens?
Just well, okay, so over the course of a week, I add enough variability because no day is the exact same, right?
Hmm.
Like, for example, I do work out about 5 days a week on the weekdays. The
Hmm.
weekends don't. So it gives me flexibility to do what I want on the weekends, family time, vacations, trips, whatever. And then during the week, each day can be slightly different. Like Monday, I work on the evening. So Monday, I look forward to Mondays, right? Because I have the morning off
Yeah.
and I get to do whatever, like hobby or take a walk or whatever it happens to be.
Okay. Here's a different question.
Yeah.
What have you done in the last month that you will likely remember 1 year from now?
Hmm. Uh, let's see. I I think we went to like a concert or something. My daughter's first concert.
Okay. Who was the
Yeah.
concert? Just out of curiosity.
Who was it? So it was a Korean group called BTS. Have you heard
Okay.
of that?
I have the
Okay.
K-pop group.
Yeah, it was their first US whatever.
Okay. I think my wife knows a lot more than I do, but apparently they just finished like a military service in Korea or something like that.
Yeah, so that's what they were. They're a Korean band and male Korean band, and with is it males and females? I don't know, but at a certain age, all certain demographic of people in Korea need to sign up in a list and serve. So basically,
Yeah.
they were a young group. They had to kind of pause as each one went off and did their service, and now they've reunited. So they're doing a world tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Okay.
So yeah,
That is good.
each month we have something like that, like a vacation or a um, small trip like that, whatever it happens to be.
Okay. So I think that might be the way to rephrase it. I really like that question. Like, what do you do each month that you'll remember a year from now? Because again, for
Yeah.
me, it was um, my son happened to make this amazing diving catch in a baseball game.
Mhm.
And like that will genuinely stick with me. It was
Yeah.
unexpected. It was a genuinely amazing play. Um, uh, Other times it is travel. Like I remember being in a few different places with my kids and my wife and just talking to each other. We don't know where along the road it'll happen, but it
Yeah.
does create memories.
Right.
And I think if I had to guess, that's probably what it is. It's the what is going to be memorable that that tends to like for sports it tends to correlate with those spikes,
Yeah.
but it might be like you don't need the emotional spike to be for the thing to be memorable.
Yeah. So I still kind of think in my mind, your spikes are a bit higher.
I acknowledge that. Yes.
Like, we've had this conversation with the whole vacationing thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, we get our vacations in.
Okay.
I think they're enough. I think they do their job on maximizing the integral to the extent that they can.
What is something you remember from last year,
uh Last year,
like
um
2025?
so uh, last year, like the vacations were like we went to like Europe. um we did some camping. Oh, so what I was gonna say, what we've been doing is a lot of dark sky stuff. So we did a
Okay.
handful of that over the last 6 to 12 months, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So one time was like tent camping in the Everglades, um, where if you heard of in the news, you're on the West Coast, but you maybe heard of like alligator Alcatraz.
I have not. No.
Okay, so that's what Trump set up as his Alcatraz for like people that they planned on deporting.
Oh.
So basically, they found a place in the middle of the Everglades where there's nobody, nothing
Okay.
except for alligators. But that's also where there's no light pollution either.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Florida, we went night camping there, and that was amazing because I saw more stars that night than I'd ever seen on bless you, any other night in my life. Like, it was a completely clear night, and yeah, thousands and thousands of stars, like, in the sky. It was
Okay.
amazing.
Um, because the memorable part, like I remember, uh, go, skiing with my son. Like he wanted to go down some blacks. Like he just wanted to seek out every glade zone on this small mountain we go to, and like
Mhm,
the snow wasn't great quality, but like he finally felt good enough and confident enough to go down these kind of. We're not going too fast because it's a more glade zone, it's a lot of trees. But it's much more technical.
mhm.
That stood out with me. Uh, Doing some of the escape rooms in
Yeah,
our trips to like Chicago, New York, and Philly. Uh, those took out with me, but that's also like my daughter had a fever in Chicago, so we had to like find an urgent care.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, boy.
she's fine. It's just like
Yeah.
it's an annoying thing to do on vacation, kind of thing,
Right.
but it's also what makes it memorable. Um, Actually, skiing's a good one. Skiing is definitely athletic,
Yeah,
but I don't have a competitive aspect to it.
yeah,
Th-
yeah.
For me, there's no competition in the skiing.
Well, here's the thing. Do you feel the same highs that you feel when you take a day trip to skiing as you would with those other competitive types of things that you had mentioned?
Man, that's I. It's actually the integral part is what came to mind. I do not get the same spike,
Yeah,
but like my high is higher than baseline and
yeah,
spread out throughout the day.
yeah,
I get the same feeling when golfing. It's like It's
Right.
I definitely enjoy being out there in that day. I love those days. I love them, but
Right.
does not have that singular spike that I have when playing sports.
Yeah, so maybe that's kind of what we're on to. Like I have those rolling hills,
Yeah,
right, on those particular days that's similar to you, but I don't think I see those spikes with those competitive types of situations like you do.
yeah.
And for me, yeah, it maximizes my integral, probably similar to you, right? However, what I've realized is there's only so much you can do that before, you outuse that.
So
So
I
you have
guess
to sprinkle that enough so that you maximize the integral from those types of things sufficiently, but not overly excessively.
maybe the question is like, when was the last time you felt down? Not it's like sad or depressed, but like it's like man, like just you felt down. Could be on the lethargic side, but like you needed a few hours to get back to your normal self.
Yeah, not much. I'm just like I said, batting eights like most days.
So like, when was the last time you were disappointed in something?
Oh, there was something. Th- this is gonna sound funny. So I found a bunch of these gift cards like a week or two ago,
Okay.
and a few of them expired.
Oh,
You know how that
yeah, yeah.
you're like, oh, that's annoying, right?
Okay.
So I spent the day going through all of them, and actually I called them up, and I was able to get all them whatever um
Restored.
restored. Yeah.
How did that feel?
Yeah, I was like, okay, good. I don't feel disappointed.
Ah,
S
maybe
uh,
I'm
well, so
like
imagine this, right? Imagine, um, you have a bit of trouble maximizing this integral. So you tell the AI, "You figure it out, you tell me what to do, I'll follow it." And it does pretty close to, I guess, what I'm trying to do on my own. And it does the thing. But basically, it it it'll likely look at your personality, and it'll do pretty close to what you've been doing, right?
yeah.
It'll probably try to keep you at between like an 8 and a 9, and it'll give you a few hills every now and then so you can get to those 10s, and it'll give you a spike every few months, to get you to an 11, and that's Aaron's integral. That's the best Aaron can do.
So okay, maybe I'm the weird one. Like I I just I couldn't figure out like do you ever get this sense of happiness and joy that I have sometimes?
I'm quite content.
Content sounds boring to me. It's like,
Well,
sure, content is easy. But joy, excitement, that's exciting.
you know, maybe when I was a kid, like as you get older, you can't. It's interesting. Like I had this. I mentioned I was in Europe, right? So we went over winter break. We went to Spain. Went to mostly in two cities, Barcelona and Valencia,
Mhm.
right? So Barcelona, very very old type of city. You have those big cathedrals and stuff like that. And Valencia, similar, but they've carved out a zone that's fully modern, and they basically built this whole science city
Okay.
for essentially young families with kids. And it
Is
looks
that the
like,
city that kinda, like, has no cars within, like, a few square miles of its city center?
yeah, there's cars, but it's very
Okay,
bike friendly, very
okay.
bike friendly. And basically, if you looked at the picture, I should probably show pictures, but I don't want to show
It's okay.
anyway.
Don't worry about it.
But I could probably anyway. It looks like another planet. Actually, it looks like it's from the future. So
Okay.
they've used it for the set of Star Wars, even.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Okay.
let me show it then. We got the video.
I'm gonna see if I can find the city that, like they've banned cars in, like, the, middle of the city,
Okay, here
and
we
it's like
go.
it's
Here are
only
the
pedestrian.
images. Okay, so for the listeners, I'll try to describe it, but for the errands, or for the people on the video, you can kind of see what I'm sharing here. Let's see. I gotta do share screen, entire screen.
For
That
me, it
one.
was Pontevedra. It has no cars. It's an old medieval city, so it's designed for it a little more better.
Okay, so you can see this. It looks like
Okay.
it's from the tree,
Yes.
right? Literally Star Wars everywhere. And the whole city, the whole Science City thing is like this. You got all these,
Okay.
and I was like, oh great, I'm in Europe. There's all these like old world things. But I enjoyed this part the most because
Okay.
I'm a science nerd, and look how cool it is, right? And part of me was kind of thinking, but they just built this.
Yeah.
Like, and you could build this anywhere in theory. If you need the money and you build it, right? Uh,
For our listeners, Trishul searched Valencia Star Wars, and it's showing a lot of Star Wars characters in Valencia and a lot of scenes from Andor, the show.
yeah, so
Yeah.
basically they shot Andor using the backdrop of the buildings of Valencia
Yeah.
because they look so futuristic. And they spent, a couple billion, but they certainly got their money back, and I'm sure, in like tourism and stuff like that, because it's really great. It really
Yeah.
is. You got like a planetarium and a museum and an aquarium and all of that in like 5-10 square blocks, something like that. But it's interesting because part of me felt like this feels a bit commoditized now, though, because they just made it. Like, what does this really have to do with Valencia, right?
Mm.
Like, and it and then wherever you go, you could still get all of the different commodities that you feel like you are grown accustomed to, right? In the US, it's all been exported everywhere. So, how special are these things ultimately?
Hmm.
And at this point, you could manufacture that integral.
Not, not. So I think. Okay, you're like going to see something that's built 1,000 years ago feels different than seeing something that looks cooler but is built 10 years ago. But like, my counter to that is like, well, you just have to wait longer. Then this will like be old. Like um, and so like there's still some benefit to like development and like creating interesting things.
Well, what I'm saying is I enjoyed the new thing more, I hate to say.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay.
Like, that I snuck
Okay.
that in there, but
Sorry.
that was the hitch, like, maybe it's just not for me then, but, I get the idea that there were lots of
Yeah.
neat cathedrals and old buildings, and it was a different vibe. I get it. Um, at the same time, like,
So I
it's
guess
hard to compete.
yeah.
Star Wars.
I'm trying. I don't have a conclusion here. It's like
Well, so then, here's the other analogy I also put forward. We live in Florida, and literally it's amusement park city, like, everywhere. Like, we
yeah,
have huge, expansive amusement parks every step you turn, like, literally spoiled, like, and at this point, you can get food from, like, all over the world, like,
yeah,
any country, right? You could literally have that cuisine, like, today.
yeah,
So it's almost too easy to maximize all these different things because you can just do it, right? Or if you want any items, you just click a button and it's here tomorrow, right? Any
So
physical object.
I think okay. Um, I guess if I had to conclude, like that again feels artificial,
Hmm.
and I think there's something like you, like if you do the gambling, same thing. you sign up knowing you're going to create either a positive or negative feeling, one way or
Hmm.
the other.
Yeah.
Um, and when you like you buy the exotic cuisine down at the place down the street, like you know you're getting the exotic cuisine.
Hmm.
And it's even sometimes with sports, like if one team's winning by a lot, you don't have those positive spikes. Even if you're the winning side,
Hmm.
like, oh, that was nice. Like that felt
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
if you're on the lose, like, that oh well, we just wasn't our day. They're better. The spikes come from like the unknown aspect. It's so close you can still go either way. I think that's part of the travel idea is like it's the surprise aspect. It's when you don't what do you see that you weren't expecting that that you appreciate or like or enjoy.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of my take. I feel like that if it's something that could have just been created, how special is that? If it's something that can just be purchased,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
It,
And
it's not the going to Spain and trying Spanish cuisine part. It's going to Spain because you don't know what you're going to see.
yeah, and now you can even see it with the VR, right? You could see those cathedrals like without having
And it
to
and that's going
go
to
on
feel
the plane.
artificial. That's going to feel artificial.
Yeah, and so I think on the one hand, it's leading to like a maybe a muting of the spikes, right?
Um no. I think for a lot of people it probably does. For a lot of people like, oh, this is a good enough kind of thing. It's still uh creating that like space to be surprised. To space to be pleasantly surprised. And at the risk of mildly disappointed. Like you guys are like, oh, actually that wasn't as great.
Yeah.
Like you have
Well,
to like be willing to take that chance in a like
yeah.
but you can't know you're going to be surprised because that's going to be
Yeah.
artificial. You have to like we don't know what's going to happen kind of feeling and create that context
Yeah.
and seek that out almost.
Yeah. So I think what I'm trying to say is I think things are good, but the variability maybe isn't there because things are getting a bit things could start to feel a bit too commoditized in general.
You know, uh, when you went to Valencia, did you know you were going to that place to see that?
No, like okay, so yes and no. Like for example, I try not to even see a trailer of a movie before I go for
Okay.
that reason, right? Like I try not to read anybody's reviews and spoilers or opinions. I'd like to go in fully fresh. So I tried to be pretty minimal about that and I was blown away. Like, wow. It's like, sorry. I need
I
a better wow face.
was, you like it was actually I was blown away. Like wow, like even your tone of voice was as muted as possible.
Yeah. All right. So I think we just learned I'm just boring.
Um,
And I'm okay with it. It's probably
and I'm probably too much, and uh, I am aware of that. I
yeah.
just self-aware. Like I know I try to warn the parents, like, I'm gonna be excited and yelling on the field, and it's just trying to teach them all at the same time. And I'm like
Yeah.
never out of anger. Um, and but I think for people listening, like you probably want to find that like steady enjoyment. Like I like that integral idea. Those eights and nine, a lifestyle of eights and nines, but every now and then create the context. Like I was like, what if that BTS concert was the best concert you've ever been to? Like you saw something you had never seen before. Like would you have been like, whoa, like wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, I guess as you get older, you just kind of get desensitized in general, right, to things.
Yeah.
Maybe that is kind of the progression. I mean, so even just reflecting on it a bit, like I'm almost positive my ancestors haven't had this much variety of entertainment and food and travel and all these crazy awesome things that
I
each of us
agree,
can kind of take for granted now.
and I've been thinking of, like, some of the shows that I've gone to see, because my wife and I have been trying to seek out, again, live experiences more and more,
Yeah.
um, and the the degree of difficulty that they have to clear to,
Hmm.
like, to wow me
Yeah.
is higher. Like, it takes a lot more,
Yeah.
but they're getting that good. Um, I
Yeah.
I remember,
But
so,
then you're gonna adjust, and then they got to do.
uh one small story. I wanna try and wrap it up here.
Yeah.
My family has enjoyed the Goes Wrong show.
Yeah.
It is a British comedy troupe where they put on plays, but things go wrong on purpose for comedic effect.
Hmm.
Okay, and it's done very, very well. It's a really funny. It's hilarious. We've enjoyed watching it a lot. They have seasons on YouTube now. Like, we've watched multiple seasons multiple times. We went to London. We went to go see a show, and then, like, why were they like, oh, there's the play that goes wrong, which was like what they did before creating this TV show. And we didn't know it was there when we left for London. We saw it, like, hey, we gotta see this. I was blown away. Like, I laughed so hard, so much harder than I expected, and it's still memorable. We got the poster that we put on our daughter's wall. Genuinely loved it.
Hmm.
Last year we were in New York, went to see Death Becomes Her, the musical. It's like, it was fine. It's like, and so I could not have known which of those I would like more going in, but the Goes Wrong show, or the play that goes wrong, like, that's gonna stick with me for a long time.
Hmm.
And it is that, like, it is that surprise factor. It is that exceeding emotional expectations almost.
I I was actually gonna take things in a different direction.
Okay. Final thought.
Yeah, so I I think for me, like the next level of maximizing the integral, I think it might be doing less and kind of desensitizing myself.
Like, appreciating the little things even more.
Yeah,
So,
and
okay, I think we're like this. We both want to exceed emotional expectations, but you're trying to lower the emotional expectations so it's easy for things to exceed that.
yeah, build up a greater tolerance, right? Like taking a sabbatical from excitement. Like, okay, let me put this
No, no, no,
more
no, I get it. I get it.
like for example, I have this vision that I think the next level is probably a life that's more like monastic even, like titrated to keeping things down to their core and appreciating that more.
I can see that. And um I I do think, like, every now and then my wife and I talk about, like, how we'll spend our time when our kids are out of the house. Like,
Mhm,
we're still like 10 years away from that, but our oldest is in high school, and so she'll be going off to college soon.
mhm,
And what our family looks like as one's out and then two, then three.
yeah,
And we still like to travel. We'll still play golf together. I'll still go on ski trips, doing a lot of those things that we enjoy. And I I don't know if still be coaching. Like, I don't know. Uh, I don't know if I can kind of create the context for those super high emotional spikes.
mhm.
And I don't know what the future entails, and so maybe it does get muted as I get older.
Yeah. So I think there's a next phase potentially. I don't think I've maxed out here, but I see it as being something that's less, not more of something.
Yeah, I don't know what the future entails.
Yeah.
I don't even have a good closing line. I think we're just gonna wrap up there.
Sounds good, Aaron. Well, did we answer the question of the day? So,
I I I think I might be the weird one. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, or it's like if this is like the average, like you're out to like here, but I'm like way out to here.
Yeah, I'm not going to contest that.
Okay.
I think you found a nice conclusion that I
Okay.
agree with.
For those listening, I went a little to one side for Trishul and way to the other side for me. So, okay, I actually do have to get ready for my son's little league baseball playoff game today.
Awesome. Well, good luck to him.
Thank you. Okay, it was great talking to you, Trishul. I always enjoy these conversations.
All right, great, Aaron. I love this conversation as well. If you are enjoying these, do subscribe, like, or share. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye. We appreciate you joining us today for this episode of the Mind Money Spectrum podcast. Be sure to visit mindmoneyspectrum.com to access the entire library of episodes. Remember, it's not black and white, but the wide spectrum of gray area where you get to pursue the freedoms you want in life. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical as no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested in directly. Have a nice day.